Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel today. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. Another update video with the latest rumours over the last couple of days. And little pieces of news as well. It's been quite a busy couple of days in regards to lots of different Wolves news, both transfer news and about the club in general as well. As always, let me know your thoughts on this and hit that subscribe button. We're closing in now finally on 17,000 subscribers. Hopefully in the next week or so we can hit that milestone. So thank you for the support. But some big news in regards to the tickets, which I'm sure you would have seen over the last 24 hours or so, that Wolves have made somewhat of a reversal on some of the ticket prices. Basically now we're going to see the under-14s prices stay as they were from last season, with the club going to be speaking to the fan advisory board ahead of the end of next season to discuss new prices. There's a guarantee freeze as well on adult season ticket prices ahead of the 25-26 season as well. So it's frustrating. It's a very small step in the right direction. It shows that the club can listen to the fans, but at the same time it's still frustrating because a good 75-80% of that stadium is going to be made up of people with adult season tickets, and you know that's still, in my opinion, the increase is unnecessary. So Wolves have really got to pick it up in the transfer window to show that to the fans that they mean business, but still, I don't know. I think the whole situation's really strained the relationship between both the fans and the hierarchy at the club now, and they've got a lot of making up to do with that. Very quickly as well, we had the annual meeting with the Premier League meeting, and today was the big day in regards to VAR. Of course, Wolves put forward a proposal about a month to 6 weeks ago about basically getting rid of VAR and scrapping it. Wolves put forward the proposal. It still needed a good amount of Premier League clubs to back it, and it was thought pretty much straight away that it was going to be rejected. But what Wolves would have hoped for is to spark healthy debate and discussion about the future of VAR. Now, today it's come out and the results are Wolves 1, the rest of the Premier League 19. Wolves were the only team to vote in favour of scrapping VAR. The rest of the teams in the Premier League have voted to keep it. Wolves have put out a statement saying how disappointed they are about the situation, but ultimately have said that they now hope this sparks some real improvements. Of course, we're going to have the semi-automated offside and so on coming in, so hopefully everything speeds up overall, and our experience as fans in the stadiums does improve rapidly. And finally, before we move on to the transfer news, JD Sports have finally been announced as the new sleeve sponsor for the next 2 seasons. We saw on the leaked kit a couple of weeks ago that JD Sports was on there. Wolves did a grand unveiling and grand launch for it, but it's going to feature on all the kits, both the men's team, all the academy teams, and the women's team as well. This is quite a big deal, of course. JD, a very recognisable brand, and they've also put on the JD website that the Wolves home kit will be launched in the start of July. So we're still probably 4 weeks-ish away from the official launch of the Wolves home kit. We'll have to wait and see if there are any kit leaks before then. If there are, obviously I'll post it on the socials. So let's move on to the transfer news. Fabio Silva. Right, where's our £35 million gone? Because it's gone missing. I don't know where it's gone, but Fabio Silva has basically admitted in a interview this week that he's going to be leaving Wolves this summer. He said that it's no secret that he doesn't want to continue at Wolves. The club and him both agree, and now we've got to try and find the best situation, so we are both happy. It was quite an in-depth interview with Fabio Silva. There's a couple of places that have posted it. Relevo is where I saw it over in Spain. Fabio Silva was quite open about the whole move, that he didn't really want to come to Wolves at the time. He was really pushed by Porto, and ultimately he knows that a lot of people made a lot of money out of him, and ultimately he just moved to Wolves probably too soon, which is fair enough. But Wolves now need to come up with something. Obviously, they're going to be losing out on a lot of money on Fabio Silva, unfortunately. He's also said that he would prefer a move to Spain. So his agent is looking at potential moves to Spain for him. I know he's linked with Sevilla previously. Maybe other teams probably will end up in the Spanish top division. But look, this guy's still so young. There's still a lot of potential there. I think Wolves try and get a nominal fee for him. Make sure we back ourselves up with some percentages just in case he does set the world alight. And yeah, just shake his hand and say, look, it wasn't meant to be. As you guys know, more than anyone, I've wanted it to work for Wolves and Fabio Silva, but for whatever reason, it's just not turned out to be the case. Sticking on the subject of Portuguese players, Rodrigo Gomez, a player that I've been speaking about since the start of the year, that Wolves were linked with him. It's thought that Wolves were going to sort of secure the deal then. He's officially contracted to Braga, but he's been out on loan at Estoril, had a really good season. He played all down the right side as a right back, right wing back, and as a right winger. Possibly a long-term successor for Nelson Semedo. But Wolves, I know personally that they were very close to basically getting the deal signed, sealed, and delivered before the season had even ended. But sort of hesitated a little bit, and Gomez continued to grow and continued to put in great performances. And now Atletico Madrid, over the last week or so, are now in pole position to sign him. And it looks like Atletico Madrid were going to trigger and sanction a deal. However, over the last couple of days in Spain, it has been said that Wolves are still very much in the race. It's pretty much head-to-head between Wolves and Atleti to see who will sign Rodrigo Gomez from Braga. Nothing's agreed between any party as of yet. Wolves are reportedly said to be open to offering a little bit more than Atletico Madrid because Gomez isn't a priority for the Spanish club. Whereas for Wolves, they've been courting him for a long time. We may well see that one come to fruition. But I really hope it can be done sooner rather than later. Wolves can't afford to wait around on these sort of deals. Another deal that may last a long time is Che Adams. Of course, Wolves, again, another player Wolves have been linked with so much over the last 12 months or so. Linked with him in January. Wolves didn't really want to pay the money. Been waiting now and pretty much have been firm favourites and in pole position to sign Che Adams on a free with his Southampton contract expiring this summer. Now, with Southampton getting promoted back to the Premier League, it put a slight spanner in the works because they announced on their website a couple of days ago that they have offered him fresh terms and a new deal. So for him, he could stay in the Premier League, stay at Southampton. No, won't really have to move around, will he? So that's one situation. But Fabrizio Romano has said today that now Nottingham Forest are in pole position to sign him ahead of Wolves. Nottingham Forest have put forward improved terms to sign Che Adams, and Liam Keane has now since put that Brentford are interested, as well as other teams in the Bundesliga in Germany. So there's a lot of competition for Wolves here, and this is genuinely one that they may well miss out on. I've given my thoughts before on Che Adams. At the time, I wasn't overly excited by the transfer, but I think the last 6 months in terms of our squad depth and what Wolves have suffered with in terms of injuries and so on, I definitely warmed to the idea of signing Che Adams. I think in this current financial market with FFP or profit and sustainability, being able to bring in a British-based player for nothing and has got Premier League experience is so hard to come by. So I definitely wasn't against this transfer, but now all of a sudden there's a lot of competition. Where it's agent talk, I don't know. But Che Adams can certainly start to see his wage demands and his wage offers ramp up a little bit. So Wolves got to make sure that they're not priced out of this one and don't get ripped off out of this deal. One that I'm taking with a huge pinch of salt today is a report from Turkey suggesting that Galatasaray are looking to re-sign Mario Lemina. Lemina played for Galatasaray previously before he played for Nice as well, where Wolves had signed him from. But the Turkish club, obviously playing in the Champions League, could be set to make an offer of €4 million. Just sounds far too low, doesn't it? It's almost insulting. Mario Lemina quieting down a little bit towards the end of the season, but as did everyone else, but been absolutely solid over the last 18 months as a Wolves player, to be honest. Like I said, that story came from the Galatasaray Gazette. I'm always so cautious with news from Turkey, like the sort of success rate of articles from Turkey is so low. So I would take this one with a massive pinch of salt. And like I said, the value at 4 million, Wolves would be absolutely stupid to sell for something as low as that. So I wouldn't worry about that one too much as of yet. We had a report from Spain as well yesterday that Gerson Mosquera is set to stay at Wolves, or at least he's going to be returning to Wolves this summer after the Copa America. Obviously, he's there with Colombia at the moment. Was out on loan at Villarreal for the second half of last season. had a slow start to life, but really impressed towards the end of his campaign. And Villarreal even were looking to try and re-sign Mosquera on loan for next season. However, that is not going to be the case as of right now. He's with Colombia and he's set to return to Wolves for pre-season once the Copa America is done. So it could be a real boost for Wolves. Really nice signing. Yes, on Mosquera, and it'll be very interesting to see where Gary O'Neill does fit him into the plans if that is the case. And very quickly to round us off with the last couple of stories, Matheus Cunha, he was linked with Manchester United. I spoke about that a couple of days ago on the channel. He has said publicly in an interview that he's very happy at Wolves. His focus is to have a better season and better campaigns with Wolves and help the club. So if that says I'm happy and I don't want to leave, then I don't know what does. So Matheus Cunha, as it stands, looks potentially set to stay at Wolves, barring obviously a ridiculously high offer. Ramon Sosa as well, the Paraguayan winger that I mentioned, it's still getting pushed quite heavily by the Paraguayan media at the moment that there is a good chance that he could join Wolves. His release clause with the Argentinian club Talleres Cordoba is around $20 million, which works out just under £16 million. But at the moment over in South America, they seem to be really pushing Ramon Sosa to Wolves. I think I've seen Benfica linked with him as well, so there's going to be lots of competition for him. But remember, Ramon Sosa, we'll see if any more news or anything else comes to fruition on that one. And we'll finish off with the 5 players that Wolves have confirmed will be leaving the club on the expiration of their contracts. The 2 bigger ones, Bendegood's Bola, the Hungarian right back. Wolves had signed him a few years ago and been out on loan. Had a couple of loan spells at Grasshoppers, been on loan at Servette ever since, and his numbers have been okay, but never really had a look in at the Wolves setup. Really surprised that we've not seen him potentially training at least with the first team a little bit more, but he's set to leave on a free, as is Louis Molden. Probably the most surprising out of the 5. Louis Molden, the goalkeeper, as seen on the bottom right of this image, was in and around the first team. I'm fairly certain under Bruno Lage he had a few pre-season games in goal as well, but had 2 really decent loan spells, and he's going to be a very decent pickup, I would say, for a Football League club for next season. And then the other 3 are under 21s and under 18s players. Don Plank, who was originally signed from Dorking Wanderers a couple of years ago. Mo Diamande, who's actually been on trial at West Bromwich Albion and played some 21s games with them, and Joe Young as well, who has played some under 21s games as a goalkeeper as well. I think he had a really decent game against PSV in the International Cup, if I remember correctly. So I wish those 5 obviously all the best. It's a shame the breakthrough to the Wolves first team never happened, but I'm sure they'll go on to have successful football careers. And there we go, guys, for today's video. As always, be sure to hit the like button down below. If there is any new news, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Let's try and hit that 17k as soon as we can. And until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.